Guys, have you guys seen the new Stan Lee documentary? It is bad, bro. It is bad. Welcome to a new art topic. This is gonna be a little bit different, but we are talking about an iconic creator, so I thought it would be fitting with my art topics. And we are talking about Stan Lee, and pretty much a trailer dropped recently that was pretty much got me like thinking like this is an exploit of an exploit. So before we go, who Stan Lee is, which a lot of you guys are gonna know, but I'll give you guys a little brief history of him. But first, we're gonna go start with looking at the trailer of the documentary that dropped about Stan Lee being exploited. Let's go! Wait, I ruined it. There we go.
My name is JonnyboiG, and for the last 4 years of Stan Lee's life, I was his assistant, his confidant, but most importantly, his friend. I traveled the world with him, witnessing firsthand the incredible highs of his legendary career, but also the heartbreaking lows. Stan spent his final years enduring mistreatment, manipulation, and betrayal at the hands of a few very bad actors.
Is there any way to get us out of that San Francisco thing? Or do you feel we gotta do it?
Gotta do it.
At the time, I didn't have the power to stop it, but I did have a camera and I filmed everything.
Whoa, watch out! Jeez.
Now I'm asking for your help to finish the film and finally get justice for Stan. This documentary includes first-hand accounts from key witnesses, including comic book legends like Rob Liefeld and Roy Thomas, as well as many others who saw the chaos and unethical acts. This isn't speculation, it's all on camera. Undeniable.
This is old Stan Lee coming at you.
No, you're not old.
Irrefutable.
I thought I was finished, but apparently I'm not.
No ambiguity. With your help, we can finish the film, expose the truth, and give Stan the justice he deserves.
So as you guys see, the reason I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to obviously interrupt the trailer, but as you can see, this is a very sad documentary, right? Because for years we already knew there's been speculation about the mistreatment of Stan Lee, the way he looked in photos, the way he did certain interviews, his mood, how his mood was within cameras, like obviously try to hide it, but there's been speculation for a while. Now, the reason why this is getting a lot of backlash right now is because it's an exploit of an exploit, because this person had all this footage, actual evidence to bring justice to Stan Lee for a while, but now he didn't do it for the past 6 years. That part is very questionable. Why did he wait on this footage for this 6 years, and why couldn't he give it to authorities like the officers or something of a DA, whatever, a lawyer, and prosecute the people that were mistreating Stan Lee? Now that's where my mind went, right? And so me doing a little bit more research, obviously looking into all of this, and you know, like this was like obviously from the tweet from Discussing Films. It says this is the first trailer of Stan Lee Final Chapter, a documentary about how Stan Lee was exploited by his former business partners for financial gain. The doc was made by JonnyboiG, who worked closely with Stan Lee during the last 4 years of his life. So obviously it is great that documentary is being made, but it's also an exploit of Stan Lee as well, because the person JonnyboiG, sorry I said the name wrong, there is a clip that posted already to kind of like give more teaser to the documentary of him kind of jokingly going with it with his exploit. I'm gonna show you guys right now. So when we go right here, guys, let me go smaller account, so we go full screen, and let me play the clip for you guys.
Thank you very much, sir.
Now are you ready to give a riveting speech? You're gonna change lives.
I thought I was finished with that. What do I have to do now?
It's never over.
See, like that guy right there who was speaking, that's John. He said it's never over. That is part right there is like he was a part of it. He could have stopped it in some way, in some form, especially with all the footage and evidence that he had. Because this guy right here is.
You what?
I said I thought I was finished, but apparently I'm not.
No. Once we're done, we'll get out of here.
Now what do I do here?
Same thing. Talk about you. We'll make some new questions.
But I don't.
But like, the weirdest thing ever is like, in this part of his life, Stan Lee, he should have just started. He's retired. Let him rest. He shouldn't do anything anymore. You know what I mean? He put in all this work, all this time, and they still put him in front of people, in front of taking photos. And this is not the fans' fault. They don't know any about this, right? For the most part. And so that's the part that really like confused me too. Is like, man, these people are freaking greedy, man. This guy is a legend, a creator who created some of those iconic characters. Let that man, he should have rest in his final days, dude. Like, holy God.
Yes, you will. Yes.
Yeah. You not want to have the mic on? How do I turn on and off? I can control that.
You get your money's worth out of me.
Every single penny.
Penny, like 5 pennies.
Thank you. So, just a little backstory of who the guy was. Like, you know, you're making money every single penny. That guy. Well, his name is Max Anderson. Apparently, he was Stan Lee's former manager. According to Daily Mail, he was fired back in 2018. So, the same guy you guys saw in the film right here is pretty much the guy who pretty much exploited him very, very much when he was pretty much working for him. And he even made a post, you know, messing him, etc., stuff like that. But like I said, I'm very conflicted about this Kickstarter because on one end, this footage should be out. Another end, this footage, the way they're putting it out there is kind of exploited as well. And I'm gonna explain that in a little bit. Because the creator of the documentary is also receiving backlash. And honestly, I don't blame people over, like, you know, having questions about him. Stan Lee's elder abuse documentary is getting backlash for failing to get him help while he was alive. So in this photo right here, guys, it says, it's deeply unsettling that this documentary was shot during the time Stan Lee was abused, with documented evidence that Stan Lee never reported to the police. Also, to release it now, 7 years after his death, via Kickstarter, something very gross about this entire thing. Just like I said before, this is another set of exploitation of Stan Lee, again with his name. By the way, that is the original poster right here, Kirby, Comics Kirby. And the Kickstarter is even more insane of what's happening. Also, I know the manager was fired in 2018, but that's when Stan Lee died. All right, guys. So what I tell you, this Kickstarter is insane. This right here, obviously, the Stan Lee, the final chapter. It has, as of right now, in one day, it has gotten about $34,000. If I'm being honest, this document does not need $300,000. I don't know where they got that money from. Oh, I know what. Because they want to make merchandise with him. We're not gonna go through all of everything of the Kickstarter. Well, because yeah, there's not that much crazy going on right here, right? You know, like explain. But when you look at the pledges, oh my God, the pledges alone is just non-stop, dude. Look at this. There's literally like 50 pledges on this page, dude. 50 pages, visual effects, original, like, you know, drawings and stuff like that, right? Original Team 2 cover recreation, and you know, from other artists. Stan Lee signed 1 artist proofs. San Diego Comic-Con badge meet and greet, which pretty much you get to meet him. Like, what? And it just keeps going, dude. Going and going and going, dude. It is utterly insane how much of tiers does this have within this Kickstarter. But this one right here is a crazier one. So I'm gonna move this more here so you guys can actually see it better. This says Stan Lee's Los Angeles tour with the director for $500. What is this story gonna be about? Well, embark on a thriller, one-of-a-kind tour through Los Angeles with film director John Borlajak, as he takes you to key locations featured in the Stan Lee documentary. Experience the city like never before as Jonathan shares behind the scenes anecdotes and reveals the secrets of film production. Visit the places where bribes were offered, schemes were plotted, and millions went missing. Stories that have never been told until now. This is your chance to walk in the footsteps of Stan Lee's incredible journey, uncover the dark and fascinating moments of the shape that the legends final years. Don't miss out on this unforgettable adventure throughout Los Angeles, guided by the director himself. The tour comes with a lunch, a limited edit photo book, a special viewing, never seen footage, features Stanley's travels, include cameos, shoots, celebrity events, and more. No backers for now. Nobody wants to buy this right now. That because you know why? That is weird. Because if people don't think that they're not gonna make a profit of this documentary, I mean, this is a pro-profit project. This is not a non-profit project, and this is not an exploitation of Stan Lee. Because I get it, they may need some money to edit everything, put a timeline, everything right with production of documentary. I 100% get that, but for $300,000, that is utterly insane. This is an exploitation of Stan Lee yet again. That's why he's facing backlash, because they're exploiting, and he's been dead for 7 years. Let the dude rest at this point. Now, maybe I'm overreacting, and please let me know if I am. I just feel like it's just too weird at this point. But this is not the first time they exploited Stan Lee when he was dead, because Stan Lee was actually exploited by NFTs, and I think it was around 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Oh, actually, I could find it too. So here it is, guys. I found it right here. Here it is right here. It says Stan Lee's Twitter account is being used to promote NFTs. From the champion diversity to embracing new tech, Stan Lee's was one step ahead of the curve. To honor the innovative spirit, Stan Lee's first Indian hero, Chaka the Invisible, debuts in his own NFT collection from 7:30 p.m. on December 27th to December 29th. So they exploited Stan Lee and made it NFT project, which everybody knew, especially around that time. This NFT project had no substance. It was pretty much a scam. A lot of NFTs were scams. Not all of them, but a lot of them were, or especially the ones that were exposed on the internet. They used a dead man's name to make an NFT. Because here is like a little bit more of it. Stan Lee is an NFT now, and Marvel fans are freaking out. So obviously it was just promotion of, you know, what's going on. And the tweet quoted about 24 times with 12,000 likes in support, and indicating that fans have a lot to say about the news, although many are not happy about it, because again, it was just exploiting Stan Lee of his likeness. As you can see, it's his face with superhero like outfits, very generic stuff, nothing super unique about it. And yeah, it was just pretty sad. So I pretty much showcased everything I could. I'm not gonna link the Kickstarter. If you guys want to know more about it, all the pledges and all that, you guys could do it yourselves. I'm not gonna be adding on to that. I do want to end this video with pretty much some of the comments that how people feel on the internet. So here are some of the comments right here. I am glad this is getting made and shown to the public, but it looks like the interviews and most of the editing is already done. So what is the crowdfunding for? Is it going to theaters or something? Waiting until years after his death to say something, and anything just 5 days after a Jack Kirby documentary was announced. This is so weird because it feels exploitative. It being a Kickstarter thing, just reducing this abuse to paid entertainment. But at the same time, I think it's important to show what happened, just not a fan of the way this is happening. I don't know. People are obviously don't know how constructing a film that holds legal or public liability on someone you aren't related to, and getting people together to do an interview, post-production, and more. It took us 4 years to make a 7-kill film. Now, people wanted this film to be released right after his death, or is also exploitation. Come on. So yeah, like I said, it just feels very weird. This whole thing just feels very weird. So they're asking for money to release footage they already have documenting him being used for money. This is going to be crushing. I remember meeting him at Emerald Comic Con. He looked so sad, depressed. He died about 1.5 years later. So this is the guy that sat on years unincriminated footage while the abuse was ongoing for years as a Stan Lee's death, so he could put it on a documentary, likely waiting out the statute of limitations of 90% of what he observed. I'm going to give him 300 grand. He wrote, in California, the statute of limitations for elder abuse cases is 2 years for his physical abuse. The statute of limitations for elder abuse cases for 4 years for financial elder abuse. The deadline to file a lawsuit begins when the abuse is discovered or when it has been discovered. Yikes. Elder abuse is awful to witness, especially the first time. You know, you can affect change. It's helpless feeling. This makes me really sad. Stan Lee was a hero of mine, as I know a lot of people. This guy just had a bad as the rest of those who took advantage of him, in my opinion, filming everything instead of standing up for Stan Lee. Well, guys, even Penguin 0-minute video about this, and I want to show you guys at least like the last minute of what he has to say, because I guess it's also like, I'm not the crazy person here too. Like, a lot of us not crazy for thinking this is really weird.
I mentioned, this footage that he has most likely will showcase a lot of the horrible things people have done to Stan Lee, and many times he was taken advantage of. But I don't feel like the goal of this film is to get justice for Stan Lee. It looks very different when you actually go through the page, all the rewards, all of the things that the money is going towards, and also when you remember the fact that he's had this footage for so long and is now just bringing it out for a Kickstarter pitch. I find it very weird. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about it. That's it.
So, there you go. I guess that it's just a very weird thing, especially to a creator like this. So, that's pretty much it. I'll let you hear guys' opinion about this. Is this an exploit of an exploit? You know what I mean? Do you guys think that even though it's being Stan Lee's name being exploited again, should people fund this because people need to see this footage out there so it doesn't happen to any other legend creator in the future, like what happened to Stan Lee? And again, I could understand if people will be conflicted about this. Like, on one end, they wanted the footage out, but another end, they feel like it does feel weird, exploited. But it's kind of like seeing the footage is more important than the other side. So I don't know. I'm conflicted. I say no. I'm not gonna fund it. I am not gonna do it because it's just too weird. It feels very exploited. It's been 7 years already. Rest in peace to Stan Lee at this point. Like, I don't know. For me, I feel like it's already too late because we already read it. Again, it was just a comment, but the statute of limitations is already gone. So there's no point to this at this point. Like, just release the film free now at this point, because nothing can happen at this point. That's it. The statute of limitation, no one could get sued. Nothing could happen to them anymore, and that's all. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, hit the like, subscribe, guys. I appreciate you guys watching this. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I know it's a little bit different, but I had to talk about Stan Lee. He is a legend, when a legend as a comic book writer and creator of some of the characters, and it's just weird. Anyways, peace out, much love. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys again for watching. Bye. Whoop. Yo.